If a game company hit you up tomorrow and put you in charge of a new upcoming Battle Royale game or a new tactical shooter game and told you need to decide whether this game is going to be a first-person game or a third-person game, what would you decide? And let me know why down in the comment section, why you would decide to go with that option. Today, we're going to be speaking about first-person shooters versus third-person shooters, because I feel like this is a discussion that is meant to be had. In the last 12 months, we've seen so many good third-person shooters, and they just died off so quickly. The other day, I was sat here thinking to myself, when was the last time we saw a third-person game completely blow up, have everyone talking about it? And honestly, I can't remember. It must have been Fortnite, which came out, what, 4 years ago? And even before Fortnite, when was the last big third-person game to launch? And we've had some really huge AAA third-person games launch, and they've just died off very fast. Could it be that third-person games are becoming less popular nowadays in today's day and age? Now, I want to make something clear before we get into today's video. I'm talking specifically about shooter games, PvP action games that want to take it that extra notch on a competitive level. Of course, third-person games are brilliant in open world games, MMO games. You know, I would rather play in a third-person aspect when it comes to big open world games. I'd like to see my character, but when we're talking about shooting games, you know, Battle Royale games, tactical shooter games, games that want to compete on that competitive level, why is it over the last 5 or 6 years has there only been one third-person game which has truly outshined in the competition? And we all know what game I'm talking about, of course. There's advantages and disadvantages of creating a game with third person and creating one with first person. Over the last few years, the average player has gotten better in video games. That's a fact. I mean, if we played games, 10 years ago, you wouldn't get such sweaty lobbies. But the third person functionality can be quite abused. And that's why we don't see many competitive third person games, purely because there's a lot of corner peeking, which encourages camping as well. The fact that you can see enemies through camera angles and you don't have to expose your body just promotes camping a lot, and it means the defensive player usually has the upper hand against the aggressive player. A game like Rogue Company, for example, this game released last year. It was free to play, it was cross-play as well, and it had such a good system where you buy your loadouts and everything else, similar to games such as Valorant with a buy menu. It also has a ranked mode as well. They're pushing out so much content for that game. On paper, this game is meant to be so popular, but it just isn't. Could it be that Rogue Company isn't popular just because it's a third-person game? Because honestly, everything in that game works. They wanted to take it to a competitive level, and it just isn't a competitive game. Whereas a game such as Valorant, CSGO, even Rainbow Six Siege, which use a similar system and have the same idea in mind, them games are much more popular compared to Rogue Company. But Rogue Company offers a lot more than them games. You can play it on console, there's crossplay, and it begs the question, is it time for game publishers to focus more on first-person games in their future plans for new competitive video games? There is a new game that has just launched. I'm sure you guys are aware of it. It's called Scavengers. I've already uploaded quite a few videos on the channel. This is a new game. There's a lot of survivability involved. You have to manage your temperature, your energy as well. And that's what you guys are seeing in the background of today's video. But this is another third-person game, and I'm going to be monitoring it very closely to see if it builds up in popularity. But it could be that this game doesn't succeed yet again, purely because it's a third-person game. If this game was a first-person game, I can guarantee it would already be much popular than it is, but it has just launched. So we're going to have to wait and give it time and monitor this game. Now, of course, third person does have some benefits. You can see your character. So when you purchase things like skins, you have that visual element to third person, which is quite nice. The fact that you can see your character, but that is a more casual approach and less of a competitive approach when it comes to, having a ranked mode in a particular game and things like that. It seems like third person games are more casual and have a casual approach, whereas first person games, require a little bit more skill and have a higher skill ceiling. People seem to forget why Fortnite blew up in the first place. That's because it was the first massive free-to-play game that launched, and of course everyone would jump on a free game, but I feel like Fortnite is the exception. If we take Fortnite away, what other third-person game is massive right now? I mean, if you guys can think of a third-person game right now that is huge, that is a shooter game that is focused on high PvP action, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section. But it seems like every time these new third-person games come out, they just last about a month or so, and then we just never hear about them again. I personally prefer first-person just because it has a higher skill ceiling. I just like feeling more in control of my character, and it adds to that realism as well. I also love the way first-person works. I would love to see some third-person games dominate this year. I mean, Scavengers is the first big AAA game that's come out, but we're going to have to wait and see how that game does. I feel like when I'm playing third-person games, there is a lot more camping compared to first-person games. Be sure to let me know down below if you find that playing first-person games, there's less camping compared to playing third-person games. With a first-person game, if you want to look into a particular room, you're going to have to go there yourself and expose yourself. Whereas in third-person games, you can just do a little bit of maneuvering and you'll be able to see in that room without exposing your character. And I think a lot of people have had enough of that type of play style. And that could be one of the reasons why third-person games aren't as popular anymore as they used to be. But if you guys know any reasons why third-person games seem to be on the decline, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section. I mean, we've got quite a few third-person games launching this year. We're going to have to wait and see how they do. But my guess is that looking at previous games that launched that were really well-made games, I think first-person games are just always going to dominate the market. But I just wanted to bring you guys this video because I feel like this was a discussion that's been playing on my mind a lot. It's very unfair that some third-person games aren't getting the recognition they deserve just because they're third person. I mean, it could be another reason, but I just feel like in today's day and age, 2021, third-person games aren't as popular as they were back in the day. It could just be me that thinks that, but be sure to let me know what you think down below. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Scavengers. It has a lot of potential. I hope the fact that it's third person won't put people off trying it because it does seem like a very well-made game. The concept works and I'm really looking forward to the future of Scavengers and also other third-person games coming out. But it's fair to say, I mean, for me personally, first-person games are the way forward when it comes to competitive play and just the overall feel of first-person games. I feel like they play much better. But nonetheless, I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you all for watching this video. Enjoy the rest of your day. And as always, I'll catch all of you guys out in another brand new video. Take care.